watching Youthline Live. Today we got a treat for you. In this episode, we're gonna be talking about something that's gonna make everybody real nice and hungry. We're gonna be talking about ethnic recipes. So different recipes that come from different cultures. And so with this episode, what I would really like is if any of our viewers, all of you out there, if you want to call in at any point in time to talk about, maybe one of your favorite recipes that belongs to your culture, or even just a recipe that you love from any other culture. It doesn't matter. You could call in and talk about it. Or if you want to learn different recipes, I have a window open on the computer, and so I'll be able to go onto Google and search up those recipes for y'all, so I can help y'all get cooking in those ways inside your kitchen. So look forward to getting into that. So before we get into all of that, though, I want to tell y'all an announcement that Youthline Live is doing something pretty cool right now. What I mean by that is we're doing a short film. And so we usually have this interns that we employ over at our, establishment over at Chalk. Around the time of August, we start to employ them. And what happens is these interns get employed to work on a variety of short films. Initially, it's supposed to be each one works on a short film separately, but we switched it up this year. We decided to allow them to work on it as a collaborative to get them that good, strong feeling of, actually being on set and doing their own cinematography. So basically, our short film that we're working on is around bullying. Now, the main character in this short film, her name is Daquita, and she is made fun of constantly and ridiculed because of her name. And not only that, just because she has a really hard lifestyle as it is, growing up in the lifestyle that she's chosen. She doesn't always have, the best support from her parents, which some of us have experienced. And so what we're doing with this film is trying to make a film that has, a little bit more rough cutness to it within the area of bullying, so that everybody could really, see and depict for themselves what bullying may look like, some of the things that we see in school that isn't always, depicted. But the reason I'm telling you all of this about this great film is because we want you, yes, you, any youth between the ages of 10 and up can be extras in our short film. We have auditions for that. It will be this Friday on the 27th, and it will be at 3 p.m. at the Chalk office, which is located at 271 Austin Street. Okay? So that means anybody who wants to be an extra, but hold on, not only extras, if you want to get a main role in the film and have a main character role or supporting character role or something like that, then you can also have to be, well, not you can also have to be, sorry. You have to be 13 years or older, just because this film, in its all implicity, it takes place in high school. And so we want to initially give the idea that each youth is about high school age, which is, roughly 14 and up, but some youth come into high school at early ages of 13 too. So we want to be able to, depict what goes on in high school settings when people get bullied and how other people react to it. Now, we're going to have our second auditions. This is actually our second auditions, which is going to be on the 27th of this month. So please come out, tell any other youth that you know about it, pass this information on to somebody at your YMCA. If you have kids yourself at home that are interested in acting in theater and getting into that film, this is a perfect time for that. We're going to also give them a chance to see what it looks like to look at a director firsthand. A lot of our interns have been working hard for over 60 plus hours to learn the skills that they need to be able to create a film like this. So we taught them how to do directing, lighting. We taught them how to do camera angles. They know how to do screenwrites. They know how to do editing, all of that stuff. And so on the set, we're going to try to make it feel as, close to being on a movie set as possible. And so that way you get the full experience, and also it looks really good on your resume. So you could take, the short film, if you've participated in it, you'll have a copy of it and you'll get to come to the premiere of it. And what you can do with that copy is you'll be able to submit that copy to different schools and different things that you want to, apply for. Maybe you're interested in becoming an actor altogether in your future. You want to have that on your profile, and you want to have that on your portfolio. And the way to do that is to make sure that you, get involved. Try and get out there, find out about these different things at your community organization similar to Chalk. All right? So again, if you're really interested in this opportunity, you could call the Chalk office at 415-977-6949 and ask for me, Eli, and I will be able to connect you with, the casting director for it. And not only that, the character descriptions and audition lines that you would need to prepare for when you're going on. Yeah, and that'll be about it. If you can't reach me at that number, you can also try and email me at imartin@chalk.org. That's imartin@chalk, CHALK.org. And then you can also call me by my cell if you want. Personally, 415-430-5046. And I will send you an email or hit you up and let you know, how to get involved with this audition better. All right? So, now moving on from that, I'm able to go into this topic of ethnic recipes. So to start this topic, I want to talk about how different foods can bring all of us together, every single one of us. We may come from different ethnicities, different cultures, and different beliefs, but almost each culture, eats a type of vegetable that another culture eats. A lot of cultures eat tomatoes that other cultures eat. Yeah, not all cultures, eat pork. Not all cultures, eat certain things due to restrictions in religion, but outside of that, we are all human, and what that means is we all need to eat. So basically, we're all connected through food. I mean, if you were to ask me, I would put it in that way. Honestly, every human being is connected through eating. There's not one human being who can say they don't eat and has been living their whole life, I don't think. But anyways, to move on from that, I'm going to talk about some of my personal favorite dishes. And then later on, if y'all want to call in, the number below is 415-861-6648. And you'll be able to call in and, just give a shout out about what your favorite dish is. Or we could just have a conversation about, different recipes to try and enlighten others, who are out there and maybe want to learn new recipes that they haven't tried yet. And so that's the purpose of today's episode. So one dish I want to start off talking about, it's pretty new to me myself. I've actually just recently tried it at the age of 19, 20, that I could really say I was able to fully taste the, complexity and denseness of the food was curry. Now, curry is a Southeast Asian dish. And this dish dates back even to the 1700s and even before that. But there are multiple types of curry. You got red curry, yellow curry, brown curry, you even got green curry. There's multiple types of curry. But the thing that makes all curry very common and very delicious to me is the seasonings they use. They use some very unique seasonings and very peculiar seasonings. They've got one called turmeric, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, coriander, and cumin. Those are all the ones that are, really in almost every single curry. Almost any curry you find, it wouldn't necessarily be curry without these ingredients, from what I've, researched and understood myself. And basically, to give a little bit more insight, if you really want to try a really good dish of curry for your very first time, I would say, probably check out some curry spots or Thai places inside your neighborhood. There's a lot of Thai restaurants out here in San Francisco for all of you people who like to, try different foods out here in San Francisco. Check out a Thai restaurant. Maybe order yourself some curry. They got plenty of different curry. Also, one good curry place that I like to go to is Naan and Curry. So if you ever want to try there, go ahead. Just look it up. Quick Google search. Naan is ENAAN and curry. Sorry about that. And it's really good, personally. It's kind of unique when you first try it because it's like, whoa, what is this? I've never had it before. Woo! But what isn't different when you first try it? It's your first time trying it. It's always going to be different. But, after a while, it tastes pretty good. Well, at least in my opinion. Another ethnic dish that I would like to talk about, moving from Southeast Asia and going back to ancient Mayan times, I want to talk about tamales. Tamales are really delicious. They're more favored among the Latin culture, and they're served at also, quinceañeras and a lot of festivities and a lot of fiestas and different parties that go with Latin culture. And this dish is served in a masa, which is kind of like a corn type dough. and it's usually filled with either some type of cheese, Mexican cheese, or different varieties of cheeses, or a meat, or even both. And that's what I like the most, if you make them with both. Also, you could toss in jalapenos or different spices to try and spice it up the own way that you like. So to get into a little bit more about it, it's also wrapped. It's not only that it's made in a masa, which is the corn dough, but it's wrapped in an actual corn shell when it's cooked. So that way it keeps all the flavoring and juice inside of it, and it cooks really well. It's very delicious. If you haven't tried tamales, there are a lot of different places in San Francisco you could try tamales at. Even at your local taqueria, they should have a tamale there that is relatively decent. I don't have a specific preference on places when it comes to tamales because I have a really awesome friend that works over at Chalk named Raina, and her mom makes some delicious tamales. So whenever I eat them, that's where I get mine from. And sometimes they're usually, associated with, you could put different types of meat, such as, I forgot to explain what types of meat. You could put like chicken, pork, or even beef in them, depending on what you like. I haven't necessarily myself had a seafood tamale, but hey, who's to say it's not good? To move forward from that, another dish that is really delicious, if y'all following me and haven't already got up to grab yourself something to eat, is gumbo. Now, this is a southern dish. This dish comes all the way to us from Louisiana, and it's an old traditional dish from Louisiana that dates all the way back to even the 18th century. Varieties of sausages is put into this dish, and different types of seafood, and you also can add chicken and so many things into this dish, but it depends on what you like. I've even had it with crawdads. You can have crabs in it, shrimp in it. You can have multiple types of sausages, hot links, mild links, regular evergreen sausage. Evergood. Sorry about that. And they're really delicious, personally. And then what really makes it as whole is it's the gumbo gravy, which all of it is marinated and cooked in over a certain amount of time with the right spices and seasonings. That comes together, and you put it on top of steamed rice inside of a bowl, and it's done delicious. Probably add some crackers to the side, and that's what I call delicious gumbo. I'll give you a few little steps to it. You can check it out for yourself. There's tons of different recipes out there when it comes to gumbo, because some people like their gumbo spicy, some of them don't. There's a lot of different styles when it comes to cooking different recipes in these, ethnic recipes that I'm giving you. So just check them out for yourself. Again, I'm just going through a list of my favorites. So that was my number 3. Going into number 4 of one of my favorites on this list is coming straight from Vietnam and Vietnamese culture is pho. Now, I don't know if you ever had pho before, but I know a place that is really delicious for pho. It's called Pho Garden. Pho Garden is out by Tanforan, I believe, Tanforan Mall. And it's a pretty dope place where you could get, basically it's a bowl of soup made in a variety of broths. So you could get miso broth, chicken broth, beef broth, different types of broth with these rice noodles, very intricately handmade, precise rice noodles that are very delicious. They also take up the juice very well, and it's also primarily served with beef or chicken, but it can also be served with boiled egg. You could put barbecue pork in it, or you could have an abundance of seafood, meaning you could have mussel, crab, shrimp, whatever comes to your mind, clams, everything, scallops even, if you love scallops. Personally, they're not my favorite, but inside of pho, everything's delicious to me. To move forward from that, going into a different dish to get more to the Italian side of what I like in Italian dishes. Now, I really like fettuccine alfredo, especially chicken fettuccine alfredo. When speaking about this dish, it is composed of fresh flour fettuccine pasta and with Parmesan cheese and butter. And a lot of times, if you want to add garlic, it's really good. And not only that, it's good for your digestive system. It's very delicious and enriching with flavor. It adds more potency to the meal. And it's greatly served, mostly served with chicken Alfredo is one of my favorite. They also have shrimp Alfredo and a few different things out there that people have tried and done with Alfredo pasta in itself and fettuccine Alfredo stuff. But overall, if you've never had chicken fettuccine Alfredo, you should probably check that out too. That's a really good dish, and it's a giant Italian dish, and it also dates all the way back to the 15th century. And actually, it seems like we have a caller. Hello, caller. You're on with Youthline Live.
Hi, yes, I'm calling because I'd like to talk about this chicken that I tried. It was called Bang Bang Chicken.
Bang Bang Chicken? Okay, and where
Mhm.
did you try this from?
It was like sweet and spicy. I picked it up inside of a mall. They had a like an Asian mall or Japanese store there, and they had the chicken. The chicken had a tremendous amount of flavor. I never ever tried chicken like that chicken that I had that night.
Wow.
It
So,
has a
let me see if we could actually
spicy,
look that up.
sweet.
I'm gonna actually see if we
I
could
think
look
it's
that up.
a Japanese dish.
Okay, cool. It's a Japanese dish. You said they come in spicy and sweet flavors.
Yes.
Awesome. Have you actually? How do you feel about this dish personally? Let me
Oh
ask you
man,
that.
I really want the recipe. I'm hoping that I would be able to find it online when I Google it because
Okay.
I want to try to make it myself.
Well, you said it's called Bang Bang Chicken. You know what? I got Google open right now. So you know what? Let me type it in and see what I can find for you and give you some information on that.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, no problem. Give me a second. Also, caller, I wanted to inform you we're getting a little feedback on your end. If you're near a TV while you're watching the show, it'll be better if you stepped away from the TV or went in another room, so that way you don't get the screeching sound on the end of your phone.
Okay.
Cool, definitely. All right. So, I actually did find Bang Bang Chicken, and let's see what it says about this. I'm gonna actually put it on the screen for everyone to see, and let's see. So, this website is called damndelicious.net. Sorry about the name.
Okay.
Um, and so, it's basically amazingly crispy chicken bites drizzled with sweet chili mayo. So good you'll want a double or triple the recipe. Hello, caller. Are you still near the TV? I'm kind of getting a
No.
little feedback again.
Okay, I'm out into the next room.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess. Okay, how about
Sorry,
now?
we might be having technical difficulties. It's all right. So,
How about now?
you sound perfect now. Thanks.
Okay, wonderful.
So now it's a super simple recipe that could be put together in 30 minutes. Easy peasy.
Really?
All it takes is time in coating the chicken in panko, which is an Asian type of seasoning or flour, and then throwing it into a skillet until it gets that wonderfully golden brown crispiness. So therefore, I feel like you might have to toss in a little bit of oil or something so that way it gets that crispiness and fry. You don't want to put too much oil though and over drench this type of chicken. Then
Oh,
after you make it like that, you'll have to drizzle on some sweet chili mayo to complete your set.
sweet
And that's about how
chili.
you make it. It's actually pretty simple. Thank you for that recipe, caller.
Yes.
So now, if you want, yourself, go ahead, check out, other websites, look it up, and get that recipe for yourself if you're out there and you think that this looks like, a delicious or interesting meal for yourself to try. Um, and it's less than 30 minutes to make too. So that's always a plus. So
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
no problem. Thanks again for calling in.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye. So hi everybody. Thanks again for listening to that. You saw somebody called in and actually was really interested and gave us a good thing to try. Me myself, I've actually never ever tried bang bang chicken. It sounds pretty cool to me. Um, So something else I'm gonna go and talk about. You know, we got about 2 minutes left in the show, so I'm gonna probably talk about one of my final and most favorite type of food. And this one, I didn't really, get too ethnic with this because this meal isn't necessarily too ethnically related. It's universal and it's salmon. Salmon can be found in multiple different ways, Atlantic salmon, and it can also be found in North America and multiple different parts of the world. But what I liked about salmon most when I first tried it, I had smoked salmon. Smoked salmon is very delicious. You could get it from your local, um, Whole Foods. If you go into Whole Foods a lot, or if you know of a Whole Foods near you, you could also get smoked salmon from there, or sometimes you could get it from any other restaurant that sells salmon mostly. I also like grilled salmon, um, salmon patties, and then one thing that I really like is salmon croquettes. Now, if you've never heard of salmon croquette, it's basically like a crab patty. But you take the salmon, you mix it up into different seasonings and stuff, and you make it into a salmon patty in a way. But instead of just cooking it normally, you throw it inside of a skillet with abundance of oil, about say half a centimeter of oil, and let it get golden on both sides and cook it like that. You add like green onion and different types of garlic seasoning and stuff like that. So for those of you watching the show, remember recipes and different foods, make all of our ethnicities one. And thanks again for watching You Fly Live. Have a good night. Bye.